If you spend time in online gaming communities, you may have heard the recent news about two voice actors in the Hoyoverse game Zenless Zone Zero who were recast in their roles. On March 11th, Nicholas Thurkettle, voice of Von Lycon, and Emery Chase, voice of Soldier 11, both found out alongside fans that they had been recast. Why were they recast? Only Hoyoverse can truly say, and they gave no reason in their update notes. But both actors said that they had been withholding work on ZZZ, a non union game, in support of the ongoing SAG AFTRA interactive strike for performer AI protections. Emery's post on social media said, I was replaced as Soldier 11 because I am unwilling to perform work not covered by a SAG AFTRA interim agreement during a strike for AI protections, the outcome of which will determine the future of our industry. Any other theories that pop up are incorrect. This is notable, especially that last part of Emery's statement. Any other theories that pop up are incorrect. Since the beginning of the strike, three Hoyoverse games, Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail, have all consistently released updates wherein some characters are silent in the English audio. The appearance of the silent characters, coinciding with the timing of the strike, should make it obvious what's going on here, but Hoyoverse has continuously and vaguely attributed the lack of English VO to recording schedule arrangements. Emery's statement directly refutes this, and we're more than keen to take the word of an actor with nothing more to lose where recasting is concerned over that of a billion-dollar company that depends on their public perception and the money of the fans who read their update notes. It's important to note that while non-union games are not technically struck, they are currently unsafe to work on, as their lack of enforceable AI protections leaves anyone who works on them vulnerable to having their performances scraped for AI use by the developer or a third party. In addition, SAG-AFTRA members are not allowed to work non-union jobs at any time, not just during strikes. Individual recording studios can implement their own in-house AI protections, which is thoughtful and a great step towards protecting performers. However, recording studios are simply hired by a game publisher or developer, such as Hoyoverse, to record their in-game audio for them. The studios do not own the audio they record. The developer or publisher does. So, while in-house AI protections provided by a contracted recording studio are lovely and can help ensure the recording studio itself doesn't feed an actor's voice to AI, once recordings of the actor's voice are in the hands of the developer or publisher, they can do whatever they want with them, which can include anything from simple edits all the way to selling them to a third party or feeding them to AI. It is the developer or publisher, Hoyoverse in this situation, not the recording studio, that is responsible for signing an interim agreement. The recording studio is just the middleman. Right now, the only contracts that contain solid AI protections enforceable in a court of law are the SAG-AFTRA interim agreements and Game Jam or student project waivers. We say they're enforceable because should the developer or publisher violate a SAG-AFTRA interim agreement and feed an actor's voice to AI, SAG-AFTRA's legal team will represent the actor in court against the company and pay for all legal proceedings, whether or not the actor is a member of SAG-AFTRA. If the same thing happened on a non-union contract, the actor would have to pay for all legal proceedings themselves, something that's difficult to do on an actor's paycheck. Recasts can and do sometimes happen when actors withhold work during a strike, and actors who do this are aware that being recast is a possibility. However, many actors are choosing to accept the risk of being recast in the hopes that, instead of being recast, eventually the company they're withholding work from will sign an interim agreement that lets them and their cast members come back to work with the assurance that their voices won't be used for AI. It's not only union actors who withhold work during a strike either. Many non-union performers who are aware of the threat of AI and are bravely standing in solidarity with their peers are also withholding work on non-union games. Nicholas is one of them. He says, I'm not SAG, but what game companies want to do with AI is an existential threat. I took a personal stand to ask for protection and had to be willing to give up the best thing that's ever happened in my professional life. I stand by my choice. Replacing a performer costs a developer a lot of precious time and money, so we have to wonder, why would Hoyoverse spend all this unnecessary time and money recasting, re-recording, and replacing actors rather than giving their existing actors AI protections, getting back to business as usual, and having all their characters voiced again?